Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Monday to you. This is your new stimulus update for Monday, June 1st. And as always, when we say new, we mean the next one, the one that the Senate is quote unquote currently working on, as if they're going to actually be working on it today. It being June 1st, they're back in session. Finally back in session. The HEROES Act was passed on May 15th. It's been 15 days since any of our Congress people have seriously taken a look at this thing or debated it. And today's the first day the Senate is back in session. Do you think they're going to look at it? No, they're not even going to look at it. They're not even going to touch it. Matter of fact, Mitch McConnell and a lot of the leaders are saying they won't even look at it until maybe the second or third week in June, maybe even the end of June. Mitch McConnell also saying that if there is going to be a new stimulus act, the Senate is going to be writing it. So they're going to tear this thing apart up and down. On this channel, though, I want to give you the likelihood based off of our leaders and what they're saying and everything we know on what are the chances that you're going to get another stimulus payment. So this is the chart we're using right here. You can see all the information there. This information is from 2 days ago. So what I'm going to do on this episode is update you on any changes. So let's go ahead and go right through it. Let's go through the number 5 contenders. So these are the top 5 contenders for more stimulus for you, the American person. The number 5 contender is the recurring stimulus. This is the idea that you would get $1,000 to $2,000 directly deposited into your account or sent to you as a check. The chance of that happening, I had at 1%. I'm going to keep it right there at 1%. There is no change in that. It does not look more or less likely after the last 2 days. The number 4 contender, no stimulus. This is the idea that our Senate may in fact not include any new stimulus for the American people. I have that at 20%, a 1 out of 5 shot. I'm going to keep it right there, which means I believe most likely there will be new stimulus payments for the American people. I think it's more likely than not that will happen. The number 3 contender, the one-time direct payment to the American people. So that's the $1,200 payment that is currently in the HEROES Act that was put in by the Democratic leadership. That's the real big stimulus payment written into the HEROES Act. I have that at a 50% chance of happening right now, based off of all of the recent news coming out of the leadership in the Senate and even top Democratic leadership that we talked about. I'll put the quotes up there. I'm not going to read them again for you, but you can read them on your own. This is Ben Cardin, also Ron Wyden. These are the guys who were in charge of the finance committees, and they're saying, stimulus, I don't know. We got to really look at that again as far as the one-time $1,200 payment. So top Democratic leadership are coming out against it, which is not a good thing. So I have that at 50%. I'm going to keep it right there. I think there's a 50-50 shot right now that we see that. I wish I could do better for you, but unfortunately, the news coming out from these people isn't that good these days. It didn't look anything like what they were saying about 15 days ago. The number 2 contender is this back to work stimulus. They're almost presenting it as if you are on unemployment. If you go back to work, you're going to get a stimulus check in your paycheck. Right now, they're saying $450, but I'm going to put $200 to $600 because they're going to work on that value there. I have so many problems with this. I'm actually going to drop this down to 50%. The reason I'm going to drop it from 60 to 50% is because I know it's far too complicated for our government to actually implement this thing. Our government could barely implement a simple payment to the American people. So when they're talking about this back to work stimulus payment, here's the chart that I heard, the infographic that I created. Here's all the problems they have. What is the amount? How long is it going to last? Who's going to get it? How are you going to run it? What about unemployment? Are you going to combine it with anything? The logistical reality of this back to work stimulus payment happening is next to zero. I just don't see how they could run it. I think they know there's no chance that they could run this thing. In addition, is it even fair? I mean, if they do a back to work stimulus and it only goes to the people who went on unemployment and now are going back to work, I could see people being really upset about that. Basically, somebody's saying, now, this is not me. Now, I am currently working myself, but I work from home at this point, not just YouTube, but my other job. But those individuals that had to stay at their job during this entire thing, if they don't get pay, and the people who were on unemployment then go back, I mean, that's unbelievable. They would have to rewrite this entire thing to include all workers. up to a certain amount of money, of course. And then is it going to include part-time workers? Is it going to include only full-time workers? That doesn't sound fair. Plus, this thing is a logistical disaster for the government to implement. That's why I'm dropping it to 50%, because I just know there's no way they're going to do this. As nice as it sounds, I don't think it can happen. So the number one contender is the targeted stimulus. This is the new trigger word of the day, and you're going to hear this all the time from these leaders in our Congress, this idea of targeted stimulus. So the last stimulus payment, it's almost like, here's the picture. Imagine you had a home, right? And it was infested with pests, some sort of bugs or something. And the exterminator came in and said, listen, we just need to just bomb the entire home, just fog the entire thing. You need to leave the home. You need to quarantine, get out, get away, stay away. We're going to fog and bomb the entire thing. That was the first stimulus payment. Here, just $1,200 to everybody. Almost everybody. Still, people are waiting for it. I understand that. So they fogged it. They bombed it. Now this next idea is you come back home and you're like, there's still bugs and pests all over the place here. We got a lot of problems. But the exterminator comes back in and says, well, listen, we already bombed and fogged the thing once. Let's do some targeted treatment right now and just hit the areas that really need a lot of help. You know, I see a lot of bugs underneath the fridge, but not so many bugs over there. There are some bugs in this other room, but mainly they're over here. So let's target the stimulus. And that's what they're talking about with this targeted stimulus, not money for everybody, which, by the way, would be excellent for the economy, at least right now, because tens of trillions of dollars have been taken out of the economy. It's one of the only times that you could actually do these massive payments to the American people. But regardless, they want to target it. So what are they going to target it to? Hazard pay or heroes pay, whatever they want to call it. They're going to try to target to certain individuals in certain jobs if they meet the threshold of being in a job that has a likelihood of contracting COVID-19 by working there. Payroll tax cut. This is a favorite. This is a big favorite of a lot of people. This is a favorite of Donald Trump. Your payroll taxes go primarily to Social Security. Both the employer and the employee have to pay payroll taxes. And so if you make $1,000 a week, if you don't have to pay them in their entirety, you would net about $77 more in your check. There's a lot of problems with this, though. You have to be working in order to receive this, so that's a big deal. Also, the more you work or the more money you make, the more of a benefit it is for you. Somebody only making $100 or $200 a week is going to see next to nothing from this. Somebody who's making $4,000 or $5,000 a week is going to see a whole lot from this. Also, are they going to restrict it based off of wage? So this has a lot of issues too. What about those people who can't work? What about those people who are on disability? Those people who stay unemployed? There's so many issues there, but that's a big favorite targeted stimulus payment that they're probably going to implement. Unemployment, targeted to those who are unemployed, or maybe they won't do this because a lot of them have been saying they want to stop the unemployment. Right now, it's set to run out. The $600 boost of unemployment to the American people who are unemployed right now is set to run out on July 31st. They are talking about not extending that at all. I don't even know if they're going to phase it out. Now, they may phase it out based off of the unemployment rates in the specific location where you work. So if the unemployment falls below a certain threshold, they're going to stop those payments. Possibly. Maybe they'll phase them out in a different way. But a lot of people just want to stop them altogether. What about somebody whose business literally went bankrupt? They absolutely cannot go back to work. Are they going to target it to different specific people? Also, no income and low income. A lot of times, individuals in Congress want to target payments for individuals who they feel like might be hurt the most. So if you make under $12,200 single or $24,400 filing joint, you may be a part of some targeted stimulus or other targeted stimulus. So I have this right now on my chart as a 75% chance of happening. But the problem is we don't know what they're going to target. We don't know what is on their target and what is not. Just like the pest, what room are you going to hit? You're going to hit under the fridge? You're going to hit the bed? You're going to hit the bathroom? You're going to hit the cupboards? Where are you going to hit? What if there's bugs underneath the couch? There's problems underneath the couch, but you don't see that as a big enough problem to handle. So they're not going to target that problem. Also, are they going to even be able to implement any of these things? I mean, logistically, again, can our government actually do these things? That's why the stimulus payment to the American people makes the most sense, because it's the easiest and simplest to do. Gets the economy rolling, puts money back in the pockets of the American people. That's why they should be doing that one, okay? So, but they're going to say targeted stimulus payments. You're going to hear this over and over again. So these are our leaders right now. These are our top 5 contenders. I've updated it all now for Monday, June 1st. The last thing I want to talk to you about in about 1 minute is the payout timeline. I'm going to put the whole timeline up there for you right now. There is no changes in this. It is June 1st. The Senate is back in session, but they are not planning on doing any work with the new stimulus payment, with the new bill, with the HEROES Act. No work. Maybe they might take this up on June 15th. Maybe they'll take it up on June 22nd. Maybe they'll do it later than that. The Senate is obviously going to have to debate and change the bill. I have some dates there, which are some guesses. By the way, if this is the best case scenario, if they decide to take it up this early, maybe they'll wait longer than that. You know, this whole economic thing is not impacting them that much. So maybe they feel like whatever it's impacting them is the same way it's impacting everyone else. So maybe they'll wait a little longer. By the way, if this timeline works out correctly, no one's even going to see a new stimulus payment until around July 15th to August 12th. Best case scenario. So we're looking at the end of summer, even if they pass one of these leading proposals. That's where our Senate is at right now. Unless there's some major changes. If people start getting a little upset about this, start calling their senators, start calling their representatives and saying, hey, listen, I've got a mortgage payment on the way. I've got this going on. I've got food. I have no job. It's not coming back. I know everyone's going back to work. My place. If they realize, wait a second, we need to get money back into the economy. We need to get money back into the American people's hands. We need to open up things, but at the same time try to provide aid because we literally shut the economy down. The American people shut down because we told them to. Therefore, if we're going to do some stimulus in a trillions of dollars plan, some of that money, at least a big portion of it, should be going to the American people. So unless they start getting this idea in their heads, this is what it's looking like as far as our contenders. So this is what I got for you today, Monday, June 1st. I will continue to update you guys as things come out, as senators say different things, and they come on and they do their press releases and they share new information on what's going on in between their head as far as what they're thinking about with the stimulus payment. If you want to be kept up to date on that and you like the simple chart idea here, subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you come along with us. As always, we will catch you next time.